Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. June 19th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Sarah.
Brad Crandall, Dawn Fortin,
Here.
Sarah Jones here, Crystal Newman here, Jennifer Sheldon, Tim Wood.
Here.
Any agenda changes? I don't believe so. And we'll go to public comments, and we are asking to keep these comments to 3 minutes. And please respect anyone that you may be talking about by not using their name publicly. And we'll go with public comments.
First I have Aaron Upston.
My name is Erin Upston. I reside at 21445 Marywood Trail. I'm speaking today in hope for change for Pennfield schools and our children that entrust our leaders to protect them and provide a positive learning environment. The resignation of our former school board president was a good start, but the damage that has been allowed to occur is inexcusable and will take time to repair. I would like to speak of the disappointment I have seen from our leaders the past couple of years. Many of you have surrendered your power to an individual that had a personal agenda. You allowed yourselves to become pawns in a malicious game, and in turn, students have had to suffer. The excuse, "it wasn't my decision," or "I don't have control," hold little significance in my eyes. You were given a leadership position in the school system. In return, it is expected that you adhere to your commitment, understand your role, and become familiar with your job expectations and the limitations of others. When you are challenged, don't allow others to practice outside of their scope. There are things in place to protect you and your position. It is cowardly to turn a blind eye and pretend you have no control. If you are not willing or strong enough to push back when necessary, you have no business holding a leadership position. I suspect becoming a pawn may have stemmed from some wrongdoings behind the scenes, but getting into those details would be counterproductive. The work to rebuild our school system is just beginning. For those of you that have fallen short, let this be an eye-opener. Use this to learn from your mistakes. When you know better, do better. Thank you.
Becky Lewis.
My name is Becky Lewis and I reside at 118 Buckingham Lane. I'm speaking today regarding an ongoing concern that needs to be addressed immediately. So much damage has been done to good families, students, and teachers in this community. Administration has failed in protecting students at Pennfield, and from the sounds of it, they're failing at protecting teachers as well. My son was removed as class president his senior year for having an opinion about administration. He has no record of any discipline and has been a good student. He was told he was removed because he was not acting like a leader at the age of 17. These same leaders, who are much older, were doing things in which I will not disclose. They did not demonstrate good leadership. They are holding our children, my child, at a higher standard than they are holding themselves. They are supposed to lead by example, and they are not. Removing my son was done intentionally by our former school board president, as she had an agenda against my son. She held things over administrators' heads to make them do what she wanted, and this was admitted to me. Again, they protected themselves. Our administration has been threatened. They knew right from wrong, but they chose to protect themselves at the expense of our kids. This is not the type of administration we need here at Pennfield Schools. I had someone say to me, "Why don't you let it go and move on? They have graduated." My answer to that is because this did not happen to you and it did not affect you. so you have no idea the hell that we have been through. My son is still broken. There are many students from the class of 2023 that are broken. My son missed out his senior year as class president after putting all the work in since 6th grade student government. He missed out on being acknowledged at senior awards night and at graduation as class president. His name was removed from the senior awards night program as well as the graduation program. He was not allowed to give a speech at graduation and address his class. He was not allowed to announce the class, turn the tassel. A last-minute decision was made by an administrator to let my son sit in the front row, but that did not come without consequence. This administrator told me they were afraid that they were going to lose their job because of that. That's pretty sad. This is all because my son stood up to an adult who was bullying a 12-year-old student. This adult has made his life and ours miserable ever since. The school board and admins knew about it and did nothing. Again, they were afraid to lose their jobs and they couldn't stand up for one individual. The one admin who did speak up lost their job. What a coincidence. So how will you make it right for my son now? How will he ever get this time back? He won't, because you failed him. The entire senior year was orchestrated by one individual, and it was allowed. We don't need an admin who do not stand up for what is right. We need people with integrity. Integrity means it's the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. A person with integrity behaves ethically and does the right thing even behind closed doors. They follow a set of values, they're honest, they help others, they lead by example, and they take responsibility. I'm finishing. I have one question for all of you. Can you honestly look in the mirror and say that you are a person of integrity? If not, then I ask you to step down for your leadership positions because you have failed our kids. And I'm requesting a formal written reply from the board. Thank you.
Chris Vogel.
Hi, I'm Chris Vogel. I live at 333 Katerra Court, Springfield. Unfortunately, it's become apparent that this district is motivated by self-interest and not what's best for the students. If this board and group of administrators are not here for the right reasons, it's time to move along and allow others the opportunity to make Pennfield great again. You must know your role and let others fulfill theirs. It's time to take responsibility for the mistakes made over the last year, fix them, and move forward, which will go much further with this community than the constant denial and cover-ups. One example is the absolute mess with the puppy trip. This district took over the trip from a parent group and therefore is responsible for the decisions and actions made concerning all aspects of that trip. The district wouldn't issue refunds to students that changed their minds about going on the trip after what we'll call the big shakeup. And parents were often ignored by administrators concerning these requests. As part of this trip, a check was issued to an individual for gift cards to be purchased for all students on the list showing attending. In addition, shirts were purchased for the students as well. All students should have received the shirts and gift card that paid their $50 deposit whether they went on the trip or not. That would have been the right thing to do. But instead, the small group of organizers and chaperones decided to raffle the gift cards off that belonged to the students who did not go on the trip. On top of that, their shirts were given away. Some to students outside of the district, and I do have pictures to show that. How inconsiderate. I have another concern about chaperones for the very same trip. I submitted a FOIA request asking for a list of chaperones prior to the trip, and it went unanswered. Yes, unanswered. And to this day, I still haven't received a response to that trip, and that trip was May 31st through June 1st. This district allowed an individual to chaperone a group of approximately 50 students knowing what they knew about this person. I question the judgment of whoever allowed that to occur. I have one FOIA that I'm currently reviewing that hasn't been fully filled, and another that a 10-day extension was requested for. Just because you don't like someone doesn't mean you get to ignore them in the professional environment. You still have a job to do, and it's not okay to tell your staff to not talk to people and that you'll do the talking and then not do it. Just because a parent asks the right questions and you feel uncomfortable because, in your opinion, they are the wrong questions, doesn't mean you shut them up with legal threats and ban them from the property. I was threatened with legal action on 2 occasions by one administrator twice and another administrator once, but never was served with any legal documents. Is this an abuse of authority? And I was banned from the property once. I question if this district had the legal right to ban me from the property to see my minors off for their senior trip. I don't think you did. It doesn't end there. How about the intimidation I encountered? At the last meeting I attended with a staff member from the central office walked up to me and stared me right in the eyes, then went directly to the back of the room and started making phone calls. As I attempted to finish addressing the board that evening with the last few sentences, I was told my 3 minutes were up. I finished, but was informed by another staff person that that staff member from central office who attempted to intimidate me was promptly on the phone trying to reach law enforcement to have me removed. I do have two positive things that aren't about that. I just like to say. Graduation was very nice. I enjoyed it. There was only one thing that I hope you guys could change in the future, and that was just the three young ladies that were ushers. They stood the whole time, so it was really hard to see and take pictures, but other than that, graduation was great. Whoever did it did a good job, but if you guys could change that in the future so parents could take pictures and see their students, that would be nice. So that's it. And then I know that there's some people that are on the agenda this evening to be recognized for, I guess, their retirement. So I just want to congratulate them on their years of service. Looking forward to retiring in the near future myself. And then I also know that Katrina Hill, who I got to know over the summer, or actually the end of the school year with baseball, is being recommended, and she's a good person. I wish you the best of luck. And I too would like to request a written formal response. Thank you.
Michelle Seitamil.
Hello, my name is Michelle Seitamil, and I reside at 136 Pheasantwood Trail. Change is still needed on this board. Just because the obvious bully is gone does not mean that the school board problems are solved. Being complacent in the face of a bully gives that person permission to continue that behavior. Being silent and not taking a stand against that behavior says you agree with it. Your direct actions, and more importantly, inactions on this board compounded this bullying problem. We know you have voices, as many of you spoke out about books you feel inappropriate for a curriculum. Why didn't any of you use that voice to speak out and stand up against the bullying and inappropriate behavior? Our students, our teachers, our district all deserve better from you.
That's all I have for papers.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Ms. Lummer, you want to do number
Yes.
6?
So, recognitions and presentations. We have 3, want to come with me on? We have 3 outstanding employees that have given service to Pennfield schools and families and children, and we're extremely appreciative of that. So I'd like to call you up to come and get your plaque. And then we'll take a brief recess. We have cake, white cake and chocolate cake, and then we'll get back to work. So I think that what I'd just like to say about our staff in general is that regardless of title, every single one of our employees educates our kids. And I think that my observation of our support staff is that they care for our kids in many ways, providing basic needs and formal education. And I think that it's, just really important that you understand we couldn't do it without you. So thank you very much. With that, I'd like to call up Pam Cosgrove, a paraprofessional for us from Purdy for the past 5 years. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. And next, I'd like to call up Val Ingalls, paraprofessional for 27 years. And finally, Pam Warsaw, who's worked for us. Thanks, Pam, for showing me. I'll never forget when I first came and I wanted to ride the bus to see what our routes were like. Thank you for being the brave soul to be like, I'll take you on a ride. Yes. Yes, there you go. You did, you kept me safe. I never once, I kicked her out the side, or you did a fabulous job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Can we recess for like 10 minutes? Cake?
I want a core piece.
Is that good? All right, let's eat some cake.
Okay, we'll call this meeting back to order at 6:57. Number 7.2, Superintendent Report.
Sure. Just real quick, I met last week with the Personnel Committee and with the Construction Facilities Committee. And in terms of the Construction Facilities Committee meeting, we had a couple of community members that showed up, so that was nice. We talked about where we're at in terms of making progress on our construction projects. So currently, we just wrapped up having new boilers installed at North Penn and Purdy so that they could be hooked up to the new HVAC system. So that project is entirely complete. Excited to be able to have that all taken care of. Right now, we're waiting on, as you know, we ran into a little bump in the road with the mechanical projects at both Dunlap and at the middle school. Our preliminary budget and design work went out to bid, and it came back 3 times higher than the money that we had available to utilize within the bond. So what we moved forward with was going out to bid for the mechanical equipment that we need so that we don't have to worry about lead times and things like that once we have the design incorporated. So right now we're waiting to hear back from, everything's out to bid for that mechanical redesign of the middle school. And so the bid opening is actually tomorrow and post-bid interviews will be Wednesday. I'll have the bid opening is on Wednesday and the post-bid interviews are on Thursday. So I will have a recommendation to the board for Monday's meeting for the approval of those contracts for the mechanical bid at the middle school so that we can get started on those projects. Middle of July is when we can expect to see the new design for Dunlap. That was where we ran into a bigger issue, is because we have steam boilers in that building, and we were looking to go to a hydronic system, and so we're looking at a more economical approach so that we can accomplish more with those bond dollars. The stadium is progressing. We've got footings poured for the bleachers. The concession stand is coming along nicely. The new bathrooms that are being put in there as well are all coming along just on time, the way that they're supposed to. One thing that I'm working on is working with the electrical company to try and get our need for a new transformer expedited. One of the things that we learned as we ripped off the Band-Aid to get to work on all of the construction was that our electrical capacity is not what it needs to be in order to handle the operation of the mechanical systems that our buildings need. If you drive around the district, you'll see that there are a lot of contractors here. On any given day, we have 80 different workers working on replacing bathrooms in both Dunlap and the middle school, replacing the roof of the middle school, working on the EFIS is what I think it's called, the exterior of Dunlap, and modernizing that a bit as well. So lots of great things happening. Next, you'll see us get to work on parking lots. That'll make this a real tricky place here for a little bit, but I think it'll be worth it in the end, as well as the new secure entrance of the high school will be getting started here in the next couple of weeks too. So yeah, all good things, busy. And it was kind of exciting, you know, the day after school was out, there's semis showing up with materials and we were off and running, so it's good news. All right.
Okay, moving to number 8, consent agenda. Superintendent Limmer is recommending the approval of the consent agenda, which includes the board minutes from May 8th and 18th, the check registers, electronic fund transfers, and the finance expenditure report. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Support.
All in favor, A?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. It's been approved. Yes, number 10.1, approve elementary principal of Dunlap. Superintendent Limmer is recommending that the Board of Education approve the hire of Katrina Hill as the principal of Dunlap Elementary. Ms. Hill went through a rigorous interview process with staff, parents, administration, and board members. She has been teaching as a high school math teacher since January, but came to Pennfield with over 10 years of administrative experience in West Virginia. Is there a motion to approve the recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this topic?
I'd like Katrina, do you want to come up? We can introduce you to the board.
Sure.
So this is Katrina Hill, this is Tim Wood, Sarah Jones. Nice to meet you. Gordon.
And you are alumni?
I am. I'm a 1998 graduate of Pennfield High School. That's awesome. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
We're excited to have you. Thank you so much, Katrina. Have a fabulous night. You don't have to stay.
I just want to say I got to be part of the interview process. I was very impressed with her experience as an administrator, and I know that she's going to do a great job and do good things at Dunlap. Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. 10.2, approve April and May 2023 bond invoices. It is the recommendation of the Director of Finance and Operations and the Superintendent that the Board approve the bond bills for the month of April and May for King Scott Associates and for Triangle Contracting. Also Digital Sign Solutions. Okay, is there a motion to approve the bond bills as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. .3, approve food service bids for the 2023-2024 school year. It is the recommendation of Superintendent Limmer and Ms. Angina Schwartz, Director of Finance of Operations, and Laura Reynolds, Food Service Director, to award the food service bids to the following vendors for the 2023-24 school year. The milk will be Cedar Crust, linen, Continental Linen Service, pizza, Pizza Hut, bread, Ed's Breads. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve vendors.
Support.
Thank you. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. 10.4, approve 2023-24 letter of agreement to the PEA teacher contract and schedule. Superintendent Lemmer is recommending that the Board of Education approve the proposed compensation increase for the PEA for the 2023-2024 school year. This includes a 2.5% increase to the base and a one-step for all teachers. Additionally, the LOA awards and a $200 increase in the longevity payment to teachers with 25 plus years. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve?
Yes.
I make that motion.
And a second?
Support.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on this? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. 10.5, approve creation of job descriptions for Dean of Students, ombudsperson, esports, varsity women's golf coach, and building of technology coach. It is the recommendation of the superintendent to approve the creation of the following job descriptions: Dean of Students, ombudsperson, esports coach, women varsity golf coach, building technology coach. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay. That's approved. Approve 10.6, approve resolution for layoff due to declining enrollment. It is the recommendation of the superintendent that the board approve a layoff resolution of one administrator due to the declining enrollment at Pennfield School District. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Tim and Sarah. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion has been moved.
Is there any opportunity for comment on that?
Not at this time, but in the future. Number 11, closed session for the purpose of conducting the superintendent evaluation. A closed session has been requested by Superintendent Lemmer for the purpose of conducting her annual performance evaluation. Is there a motion to enter into closed session?
So moved.
Thank you, Tim.
Second.
Sarah? We'll be moving into closed session. All those in favor?
Aye.
We'll be moving into closed session. And the board will be moving to closed session at 7:01. Okay. We'll go into open session at 8:39 p.m. Is there a motion to approve Ms. Lemmer's 22-23 evaluation with a highly effective rating?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion moves. And board comments.
I just want to again reiterate, thank you for the years of service for the ladies we recognized tonight. We appreciate all that you did for the district, and one of them at least told me she plans on volunteering in the future, so that's dedication.
Any other comments? I would like to thank Ms. Lemmer for her hard work for our district. There's been a lot that she has worked on and achieved, and I appreciate all of it. And the work with our staff, the work for our students, the work for our community, it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here and I'm looking forward to the future.
All right, meeting adjourned, 8:41 PM.
Access Vision, your voice, your community.